Tonight on America's Hope, Robert Kiyosaki, the best-selling author of Rich Dad, Poor Dad, joins us, along with James Brown, who gives some notable advice to older Americans and how they can row their boat into success. America's Hope starts right now. From the NTD Global Headquarters in New York, I'm Kelly Wright, and this is America's Hope. Thanks for joining us this hour. Good evening to you. I do hope that you're safe and well wherever you are, taking care of yourself and your family because you matter. And you matter so much that it means something when you can reach out to your family, embrace them, and let them know just how loved they are. And that means providing some sage wisdom and advice. We've got someone to do that for us tonight. Robert Kiyosaki is joining us. He's the author of the best-selling book, Rich Dad, Poor Dad. And then later on in the show, we'll introduce you to James Brown. Now, he has a television show designed for older Americans to help grandparents understand how they can be better parents and better grandparents and love their children. He's got an intergenerational program reaching out to strengthen the family. Let's get started. I'm joined now by Robert Kiyosaki, Rich Dad, Poor Dad.
Long time no see, my friend.
It has been a while.
Yeah.
The last time you and I had a conversation, I was at another network hosting a show, and you came on, and that bright smile of yours, but the intellect and the understanding of what we need to do for our economy and for sustaining families. Let me start by asking you, Rich Dad, Poor Dad, you set out to accomplish what?
Well, it was to take on the school system. Now, I grew up in Hawaii. My poor dad was a PhD from Stanford, Northwestern University, Chicago. Great man for Japanese, 6'4". He was tall, very dynamic, but he was poor because he's academic. And my rich dad was my best friend's father, who didn't go to school, but he was a capitalist. And so when I was a little boy in Hawaii, I asked my poor dad, I said, when will I learn about money? And naturally I get the love of money is the root of all evil. And I used to say, hey, Dad, I like a new bicycle. That's not evil. You know what I mean? That's all I wanted, because I went to a rich school. My classmates were rich. So I said, how come they're rich and I'm poor? And so I asked my poor dad that question. I said, well, if you stay in school and you get your PhD, you'll be rich. I said, Dad, that's what you did, and you're still poor. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know, kids will, there was an old guy, Art Linklater, years ago. He says, kids say the damnedest things.
Yeah.
Well, kids aren't filtered. You know, I said, if I stay in school, get my PhD, I'll get rich. But that's what you did. And so I wrote Rich Dad, Poor Dad just as a contrast. Because the question is, what do we teach our kids about money? Nothing.
How important is that today because of the political divisions that people talk about and the economic divisions that people still talk about? How do we get to a place where we get beyond that and just flat out talk about the goodness of America?
Well, the goodness about America is we can say those things. We can challenge it, we can question, we can fight back. So the reason I like Freedom Fest is because this program becomes more important every year, especially. I mean, last night I was cracking up because there are comedians talking about how they can't tell jokes anymore. I mean, that's pretty bad when you can't tell a joke. You think about some of the old comedians, they couldn't say what they're saying now.
Yeah.
They were being censored. So we've got to fight back against our freedoms here. But the biggest concern here is we're now the biggest debtor nation in the world. So every 90 days, America's printing $1 trillion. Now, basic economics 101, you know this. When you print fake money, which started with Nixon in 1971, when you print fake money, the rich get richer, but the poor and middle class get poorer. So when you see homelessness popping up everywhere today, that's because it's fake money. It's not the only reason, but it's one of the primary reasons. So like for me, when you print money, you know, I sell, under Trump, I was selling oil for $30 a barrel. I'm an oil guy too. When Biden came in, I'm not Republican or Democrat, I'm just saying that. When Biden came in, his first act was to cut the pipeline. He cut the Keystone XL pipeline, and I was selling oil to under Trump for $30 a barrel. The day that Biden cut that pipeline, oil went to $130. So the rich got richer, but I knew exactly what Biden was doing. He was going to cause a Stalin-type gap between rich and poor. So when he cut the pipeline, the poor and middle class got poorer. So suddenly, the price of oil affects civilization. Everything got more expensive, and Biden says, "Oh, I don't know what happened." I said, "You intentionally did that, you SOB. What was your first act? You cut the pipeline." Then he took down Trump's wall. I'm going, holy mackerel. And so the saying I say to all people, I don't care, rich or poor, Republican, Democrat, watch what a person does, not what they say.
Yeah.
And what Biden did was he cut the pipeline, he took down the wall. You can say what you like, but that's what he did.
We don't know the outcome of what's going to happen in November when people go to the polls to vote. What are your concerns about getting Americans to a place where they can sustain themselves in a viable economy?
Well, when you think of what's happening throughout the world, we have liberals versus conservatives. Or I was just in London, and when people get poor, they blame the rich. So today, the conservatives or the capitalists are losing because the academic system, Silicon Valley and all that, they say, well, it's the rich that are causing this problem. It's the middle class, it's the academics. You look at I'm not Republican or Democrat, so I just want to say what a person does, not what they say. It was this guy named Barack Obama who brought in student loan debt. He's a smart black guy. He knows what he's doing. I am $1.2 billion in debt because debt became money in 71 under Nixon. So I borrow money to get rich. So I borrow money to buy apartment houses, hotels, businesses. I use debt. So you can use debt to get rich. The moment student loan debt came in, I wouldn't touch that debt. As a capitalist, I'm smart enough to know the terms and conditions surrounding student loan debt, nobody should touch. It's toxic. So I knew Obama did that intentionally to put our students in debt. The trouble with student loan debt, you can't bankrupt out. So I'm $1.2 billion in debt, right? So I screw up. I drive the Titanic into the rocks. I say, hey, no hard feelings, you guys. Bye. I declare bankruptcy. I'm out in 7 years and I'm free.
Yeah.
But if a young person has, let's say, $50,000 in student loan debt, they can't bankrupt out. So it becomes this albatross around their necks for the rest of their lives. And Obama knew he was doing that. He's a very smart man. And so it seems that our liberals and those guys, they're sabotaging America.
How do we break free from that? You have programs that are out there to help people and to educate them. Talk to me about your program, and do you see outcomes that are positive?
Well, this is the funny part, is that I flunked out of high school twice because I can't write. It's not that I couldn't write. The teacher didn't like what I was writing, you know what I mean? So today my book is still #1 after 25 years internationally.
Wow.
Still number
Congratulations.
one.
Hi, everybody. I hope you're enjoying this episode so far of America's Hope. If you'd like to see it in its entirety, just click on the link below. Thanks for watching.